If you're a diehard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. The NFL world is buzzing today with a report that has left fans and analysts alike absolutely stunned. Deshaun Watson, one of the most electrifying quarterbacks in the league, has reportedly taken a dramatic and unprecedented step in his career. Sources close to the situation suggest that Watson has officially demanded the immediate removal of Shedeur from the Cleveland Browns roster. This shocking development has ignited a wildfire of speculation across social media platforms, sports talk shows, and locker room whispers. The tension within the Browns organization is reportedly palpable, with insiders claiming that the team's internal dynamics have been fraught with friction ever since Sanders joined. Fans have taken to Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to debate the motivations behind Watson's bold move, with some speculating that it stems from personal disagreements, while others point to strategic concerns about the offensive chemistry. Analysts are dissecting every throw, every snap, and every sideline interaction from recent games, attempting to uncover the root cause of this sudden clash, while coaches and front office executives are said to be scrambling to contain the fallout, knowing that the ripple effects could influence team morale, locker room unity, and even ticket sales as the season progresses. Rumors suggest that the tension between Watson and Sanders did not emerge overnight. According to multiple sources, subtle disagreements and miscommunications have been simmering for months, escalating to a breaking point after several high-profile games where play execution reportedly faltered. Watson, known for his competitive fire and leadership demands, apparently reached a limit where he felt the presence of Sanders on the team directly impacted the Browns' ability to perform at the highest level. Conversations with coaching staff allegedly failed to resolve the tension, leading Watson to take this rare step of publicly asserting his position on roster changes. The implications of such a move are enormous, not just for Cleveland, but for the NFL at large, as it is uncommon for a player of Watson's stature to issue a direct demand regarding another teammate's status. Industry insiders speculate that this could trigger a chain reaction, prompting further roster reconsiderations and potentially affecting the Browns' draft strategies and long-term planning. As the story develops, fans are left wondering whether this is the start of a seismic shift within the franchise or simply a highly charged moment that could be smoothed over with careful negotiation and diplomacy. Sources familiar with the Browns' internal dynamics describe an atmosphere charged with uncertainty and speculation. The coaching staff is reportedly walking a tightrope, balancing Watson's demands with the broader organizational strategy, while attempting to avoid alienating other players. Sanders, meanwhile, is said to be aware of the situation but has not made any public statements, fueling further curiosity and speculation across fan forums and media outlets. This evolving narrative has prompted sports commentators to explore every possible scenario, from trades to benching strategies, and even potential locker room interventions to mediate the conflict. Experts note that the way the Browns respond to this controversy could set a precedent for player power dynamics throughout the league, raising questions about leadership, authority, and influence within professional sports teams. As insiders continue to weigh in, the discussion is no longer just about performance metrics or playbooks. It has shifted to character dynamics, personal rivalries, and the delicate balance between individual talent and team cohesion. Every practice, every press conference, and every sideline interaction is now being analyzed under the lens of this developing saga, making it one of the most talked about stories in recent NFL history. The timing of Watson's demand has also raised eyebrows. Coming in the middle of a critical stretch of the season, the Browns face not only internal pressure, but also the external scrutiny of fans, media, and rival teams eager to capitalize on any perceived weakness. Reports suggest that some players are quietly taking sides, creating a complex web of alliances and tensions that further complicates the team's ability to focus on upcoming games. Social media chatter has amplified these reports, with hashtags trending across platforms, memes circulating that speculate on locker room dramas, and passionate debates about leadership, accountability, and the future of both Watson and Sanders in Cleveland. Analysts emphasize that while talent on the field is crucial, off-field dynamics can be equally influential, and the Browns' response in the coming days could define the trajectory of their season. Team executives are reportedly in high-level meetings, weighing options, assessing trade values, and trying to anticipate the ripple effects of a roster shakeup prompted by a star quarterback's direct intervention. The delicate interplay between public perception and private negotiations adds another layer of complexity to an already explosive situation. Veteran NFL insiders suggest that Watson's move is reflective of a broader trend in professional sports, where star players increasingly exert influence over team decisions, challenging traditional hierarchies. While some applaud the assertiveness and leadership demonstrated by Watson, others caution that it risks undermining the cohesion and morale necessary for sustained success. Historical parallels are being drawn to previous high-profile conflicts in professional football, highlighting how player-driven interventions can lead to transformative outcomes or prolonged turmoil. The Browns' management is reportedly weighing all factors, from locker room sentiment to fan engagement metrics, recognizing that any decision regarding Sanders could resonate far beyond the immediate roster. Meanwhile, the media narrative continues to evolve, with pundits analyzing body language, past interviews, and even social media interactions for clues about the depth of the discord. Every subtlety is being scrutinized, and each new report seems to add fuel to the fire, creating an environment of constant speculation and anticipation. The eyes of the NFL world remain fixed on Cleveland, eager to see how this unusual power struggle unfolds and whether it will redefine team dynamics in ways previously unseen. Amid this whirlwind of rumors and speculation, fans are left grappling with the uncertainty of what comes next. The Browns' official channels have remained largely silent, further intensifying the intrigue and encouraging countless theories about the future of both Watson and Sanders. From sports radio to online forums, debates rage about the ethical, strategic, and personal dimensions of Watson's unprecedented demand. Some argue that it demonstrates decisive leadership, prioritizing team success over personal comfort, while others fear it could set a dangerous precedent where individual players wield disproportionate influence over personnel decisions. Meanwhile, opponents are reportedly monitoring the situation closely, perhaps seeing an opportunity to exploit the Browns' potential instability. As this story continues to develop, it becomes clear that its impact extends beyond the immediate roster conflict, touching on broader themes of authority, talent management, and the evolving culture of professional sports. The coming days promise critical updates that could reshape fan expectations, league dynamics, and the narrative surrounding one of the NFL's most dynamic quarterbacks. As the news of Watson's demand spreads, the reaction across the NFL community has been nothing short of explosive. Fans, commentators, and rival teams are dissecting every possible angle, trying to anticipate the next move in this high-stakes drama. Social media has become a battlefield of opinions, with some praising Watson's boldness, while others criticize the potential disruption to team cohesion. Insider reports suggest that Browns executives are working frantically behind closed doors, balancing the quarterback's wishes against contractual obligations, salary cap considerations, and the broader impact on team dynamics. Analysts point out that any immediate removal of Shedeur Sanders could trigger a cascade of consequences, from shifting locker room hierarchies to altering play-calling strategies. Coaches are reportedly consulting legal and player relations experts, ensuring that any action taken respects both league rules and team policies. Meanwhile, Sanders' camp remains publicly silent, but sources hint at private discussions, exploring whether relocation, trade negotiations, or internal mediation could offer a resolution. The media frenzy has only intensified speculation, with every press conference, practice session, and interview being scrutinized for subtle clues. Fans and pundits alike are obsessed with predicting whether this situation will culminate in a dramatic trade, a heated confrontation, or an uneasy truce, recognizing that the outcome could reshape the Browns' season and leave a lasting mark on the NFL landscape. Sources familiar with internal team discussions suggest that the tension between Watson and Sanders is more complex than a single disagreement. Reports indicate that subtle clashes over offensive schemes, leadership roles, and communication styles have been brewing for months, ultimately converging in a public and dramatic demand. Coaches are said to be walking a delicate line, attempting to maintain harmony while addressing the concerns of a star quarterback whose influence extends far beyond the field. Analysts speculate that this scenario could become a case study in modern athlete power dynamics, highlighting the evolving role of elite players in shaping team decisions. Observers note that while Watson's performance has been stellar, the interpersonal challenges presented by Sanders' presence cannot be ignored, creating a volatile mix of talent, ego, and strategic vision. Fan reactions have been equally intense, with passionate debates unfolding across podcasts, social media threads, and live broadcasts, dissecting the motivations, potential outcomes, and ethical implications of Watson's move. Some commentators frame this as a decisive step for leadership accountability, while others worry about the precedent it sets for player-driven personnel changes. Behind the scenes, executives are reportedly mapping out contingency plans, considering trade packages, contract negotiations, and locker room management strategies to contain the fallout and protect both the franchise's reputation and competitive prospects. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. The impact on team morale is reportedly a central concern for the Browns management. Sources claim that players are navigating an atmosphere charged with uncertainty, where alliances and loyalties are subtly shifting in response to Watson's bold stance. Practices are reportedly tense, with coaches attempting to maintain focus while media speculation looms over every decision. Analysts point out that the psychological aspect of team dynamics is critical, as locker room cohesion can directly influence performance on game day. Reports suggest that some veteran players are acting as informal mediators, attempting to bridge the gap between Watson and Sanders to avoid long-term disruption. Meanwhile, league observers are closely monitoring the situation, recognizing that a resolution or escalation could influence how other teams manage star player influence in the future. Fan engagement has skyrocketed, with ticket sales, merchandise interest, and social media activity reflecting heightened attention to the unfolding drama. Every interaction between Watson, Sanders, and the coaching staff is being scrutinized, turning ordinary practices into high-profile events analyzed for signs of tension, reconciliation, or further conflict. Experts emphasize that while the focus is on roster decisions, the broader narrative speaks to leadership, accountability, and the delicate balance of individual and collective priorities in professional sports. Industry insiders are speculating about potential trade options and roster moves that could emerge from this conflict. Sources suggest that teams across the league are quietly assessing the situation, considering whether they could capitalize on the Browns' internal tension to acquire either Watson, Sanders, or complementary players. Analysts point out that any trade would have complex financial and strategic implications, including salary cap adjustments, draft pick compensation, and long-term roster planning. Reports indicate that Watson's camp is actively engaged in dialogue with front office personnel, expressing both urgency and firm expectations for a resolution. Meanwhile, Sanders' representatives are reportedly exploring every possibility, from mediation to relocation opportunities, while ensuring that the player's interests and career trajectory are protected. Fans continue to speculate wildly, imagining blockbuster trades, high-profile confrontations, and dramatic press statements, all feeding the rumor mill. Media coverage has intensified, with 24-hour news cycles and live social media updates amplifying the tension and urgency surrounding this story. The ripple effects of this drama are extending far beyond Cleveland, influencing conversations about leadership, player influence, and strategic decision-making across the NFL, making it one of the most closely watched developments in recent seasons. The potential consequences for the Browns season are profound. Analysts warn that internal discord could compromise performance on the field, particularly during critical stretches of the schedule. Sources indicate that coaches are implementing contingency strategies to minimize the impact of the Watson-Sanders tension while maintaining focus on play execution, game planning, and competitive readiness. Fans and commentators are speculating about every upcoming matchup, analyzing how psychological stress, altered chemistry, or potential trades could shift game outcomes. Reports suggest that the front office is preparing multiple scenarios, from negotiating a resolution that keeps both players to facilitating a departure that satisfies contractual and strategic priorities. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dog Pound conversation. Go Browns!